everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Front. My name is Mike Phillips, and I will be your host. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in and join me today. I really appreciate it. As always, you can check out my website at leadtheteam.net for free sales training, for motivational content, and for leadership tips. And if you would, cruise on over to leadtheteam.tv. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel there. I would sure appreciate that. I do new episodes every single Wednesday and Sunday, plus some other video content and training. If you're interested in podcasts, those are available on just about every podcast platform, including Google Play, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. Just type in The Front and Mike Phillips, and it should come right up. So today I am going to be talking about in sales, seeing is believing, right now on The Front.
Thanks for tuning in to Lead the Teams, The Front.
Yes, that's right. In sales, seeing is believing. Actually, in a lot of life, seeing is believing, because when people can see the outcome of an action, when people can see the result, it becomes tangible to them, and it helps to develop their belief system. They start to say, okay, that's real. Now, today, I'm especially talking to those people that are in a leadership or management position, because what happens so often is somebody comes up through sales. Now, my background is automotive. Someone will come up through sales, and they will get into a position where they're kind of a floor leader, or they get promoted and have a sales manager title. And then what happens is it oftentimes training or talking to people and trying to even have a one-on-one or teach somebody in the moment becomes talking about the good old days. Well, hey, here's how I used to do it. Here's what you should go and do. Here's how you should handle it. And often in management, I've been caught in that trap where you talk at somebody or you tell them about how to do it instead of just getting up off your duff and going to show the person what should be done or what should be said, right? From the salesperson or the salesperson's perspective to the customer. Like, how is it important to say this to the customer? Or how should you carry yourself? What should your body language be like? How should your voice tone inflection be to be able to present this product or service to the customer? And a lot of times you can't relay that in a story. It just doesn't work. And it happens so often. It's rampant in the auto industry. Somebody gets into management and now all of a sudden it's like conducting the orchestra, right? Well, you go do this and you go do that and da-da-da-da-da. And it doesn't work. One of the best training tools you have at your disposal is the ability that got you to where you are. You have to still get up and engage and interface with your sales team, engage and interface with the customer so that salesperson can see the outcome of your action. It's huge. You've heard the saying before, those who can't teach. And I absolutely disagree with that statement. Because the people that are really in a good teaching role, that are in a good training role, so if I'm capable of training somebody to do what I had done, or if I'm capable of training somebody in a sales process, or training how to handle a phone call, or teaching somebody a life skill, at some point you had to have the ability yourself to perform that skill with excellence. And so that's part of what got you into your position. You had to perform it with excellence. You got recognized for it. You got promoted. You're either recognized as a leader because of your clout, because of what you're able to do, or you're recognized as a leader because you have a management title, and you got a management title because you were recognized for excellence in certain areas. And so when we're talking about teaching and training somebody, at some point, you had to be able to do that skill. So every once in a while, you still have to slow down, back up, sharpen that saw, get really good, continue to stay really good at the basics so that when one of your team members, one of your staff members, the employees that works in your charge, however you want to say it to yourself, one of those people, when they need help, you're able to stand up and go perform the action with absolute excellence and brilliance. so that they can watch it happen and they watch it unfold. They watch the sale take place and they go, holy cow, okay, I get it now. I understand how to carry my body a little bit. I understand how the voice tone should come across. I even understand what to say. Why? Because my leader or my manager was able to perform that and I watched it happen. So now I believe that it's true. And I'm telling you, so often, managers, you got to tune into this and listen, because you make it into this managerial role and then you think, well, now I'm just going to conduct and I'm going to tell people what to do and they're going to go and execute on it. If you're working with people that have not executed on it before, right? If they haven't performed a sale where you're bringing someone into the industry, or they haven't performed a sale for you. Take auto sales, right? There are so many different automotive dealerships and just slight little tweaks and differences in process. And so let's say they may be an outstanding automotive salesperson. They may have 5, 10, 15 years of experience, but they don't have 5, 10, or 15 years of experience in your store. They need to understand your philosophy. They need to understand your process, and they need to understand that you have the fortitude to stand up and get up off your butt and go talk to the customer and show them how it should be done. You know, that's how then they can incorporate all their experience into what your process and your philosophy is. They need to understand, and I'm not just talking about with customers, I'm talking about prospecting and following up with customers. I'm talking about how to perform daily tasks. As a manager, think about this one for a second. As a manager, if you're in automotive and you're watching this right now, how well do you know the CRM? Can you translate that to your salespeople? Because if you don't know it, you can't hold your people accountable. You may have to go back in and revisit your basics and learn the stuff yourself, because as you know it and you know what's taught and you know what's trained and you know that they can see it and believe it and perform it, then you can have a higher level of accountability. If you can't, then everything ends up all loosey-goosey and people end up all over the place. That's when, your foundation starts to erode, is if you're not holding people accountable to your expectations, right? You've heard inspect what you expect. You have to be able to go in and look at it and inspect the process, inspect the action, and then give clear expectations of what's next on down the road. And I'm telling you, pull your people. When I'm talking about the CRM, I get really passionate about the CRM stuff and what goes in. And for me, in my store, I am very good at the CRM. But pull somebody in right next to you. Have them sit down with you while you're performing your daily tasks in the CRM. They can see that you're doing it and are a lot more apt to do it and engage in that themselves. And ask for help, because they say, hey, look, Mike, question, how do you do this? How are you able to perform this? And when you can step in and show them that, right now they believe that it's true and it's probably accurate and it's something they should be doing. And it allows you to have that kind of joint and mutual accountability with one another. And it can be an absolutely awesome relationship. So I'm telling you, if you're in management, if you are in a leader role in your sales environment, whatever sales organization you're in, you've got to, as you continue to be innovative and move forward and learn new things and get pumped up and all that, you cannot abandon the basic things that got you there and just expect, well, I'm going to tell them this old, sales war story and then they're going to get it. It doesn't work that way. Some people may get it, but every once in a while they may try you on also. They may still say, okay, let's see if this old dog still got it, right? Let's see what you can still go out there and do. And so, and often, here's the thing. What's the number one reason? I'm going to expose something right now, managers. What is the number one reason that someone that is in a management or in a leadership role, the top salesperson to me is still a leadership role? What's the number one reason that they won't take a turnover from a newer salesperson for a customer? What's the number one reason? I'll pause for a moment for you to think about that. And you're probably saying it right now. Yeah, it's fear. Fear of what? Fear of failure. Fear that kick butt, top-notch salesperson, fear that manager will not be able to close the deal. And guess what? Then you got dressed down in front of that new salesperson, or that's how people feel anyway. I'm telling you, take the swing at bat. You're not going to close everybody anyway. You're not going to sell 100% of the consumers, right? But get out in front of them. Have that conversation. Make sure that the salesperson or the BDR or the staff member knows that you've got their back, right? That you're willing to take the chance, that it's okay to take the swing and miss. That's huge. Then they'll say, okay, yeah, now I get it. Now I'll sign up. Now I believe it, right? Because I saw my manager get up and go in and take the swing. And yeah, we didn't close that one, but then we talked about it. We talked about what we both could have done differently. And that individual sees how they should be able to carry themselves into future sales. So that's my whole message for today, is in sales, seeing is believing. And it goes on to customers also, right? If you can show a customer something, then it starts to materialize and become true to them. That's a whole different episode. Right now, I'm talking about showing your staff and showing salespeople and showing phone people and coming in from a position of strength as a manager and a leader in your organization. So that's the message. Seeing is believing. So show people what you want done. Show people the expectation. Get engaged and get involved. Thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of The Front. I sure appreciate it. I really, really value your time. If you've enjoyed this episode, and I sure hope you have, please give it a thumbs up. Share it on your social media. Share it on every social media outlet you've got. I would really appreciate that. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Lead the Team TV. And I do this every single Wednesday and Sunday. So until we speak next, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.